Hi, everyone. I'm Jack. Welcome to our show.
And I'm Alina. Today we're going to talk about how to become smarter every day.
You might be thinking, can I really get smarter? You know what you absolutely can.
It's not about being born brilliant. It's about training your brain just like a muscle.
Think of it like this. When you go to the gym, you lift weights to make your muscles stronger. You can do the same thing with your brain.
And the best part is that it's never too late to start no matter your age. Your brain can always learn and grow.
One of the biggest secrets to becoming smarter is to stay curious. Think back to when you were a kid. You were always asking why, right?
That natural curiosity is like a superpower. It makes you want to learn and explore new things.
But sometimes as we grow up, we lose that curiosity. We get so busy with our routines that we forget to ask questions.
That's why it's important to make a conscious effort to stay curious, look around you, ask questions about the world, ask questions about yourself.
You'll be surprised at how much you can learn when you start asking why again.
And it's not just about asking questions, it's also about how you learn. There's a big difference between just reading something and actively engaging with the material.
Imagine you're reading a book. You could just skim the words, or you could really try to understand the ideas.
You could underline key points, ask yourself questions, or even try to explain what you're reading to someone else.
That's called active learning. It helps the information stick in your brain. Much better studies show that students who actively engage with material remember twice as much information compared to those who just try to memorize it.
Think of it like this. If you're building a house, you wouldn't just throw the bricks together. You would carefully place each one, making sure they fit together properly.
That's what active learning is. Like you're building a strong foundation of knowledge by carefully considering and connecting the information you're taking in.
Now let's talk about some practical study tips. Highlighting can be helpful, but don't rely on it too much.
Sometimes we trick ourselves into thinking we know something just because we recognize it. But highlighting doesn't necessarily mean you understand the material.
Have you ever heard of the SQ3R method? It's a more effective way to approach textbook reading.
It stands for survey question, read, recite, review.
It seems like a lot of steps, but it really helps you engage with the material on a deeper level. Let me explain how it works.
First, you survey the chapter, look at the headings, subheadings, pictures, and captions to get a general overview. This helps you to get a sense of what the chapter is about.
Then you formulate questions about the material. What are the main points? What are the key terms? This helps you to focus your attention and look for specific information.
Next, you read the chapter, actively search for answers to the questions you formulated.
After reading, you recite the information. You could summarize the main points in your own words or try to explain it to someone else.
And finally, you review the material to make sure you've retained the information. This could involve going back over your notes or rereading certain sections.
It's a simple but powerful method. It transforms reading from a passive activity to an active one.
Now, let's say you have a lot of facts to remember for those pesky facts that just won't stick. Try using mnemonics.
Mnemonics are memory aids that use creative associations. These tricks help you remember information easily. Have you ever heard of ROYGBV?
It's a mnemonic for remembering the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
Another example is, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, for remembering the year Columbus discovered America.
You can even use mnemonics for more complex information. For example, if you're trying to remember that the right atrium of the heart receives deoxygenated blood, you could imagine a radio playing in the right atrium.
Right, atrium deoxygenated or radio, the sillier the image, the better it will stick in your memory.
We've talked a lot about learning, but becoming smarter isn't just about books and studying.
It's also about taking care of your physical and mental health. Our lifestyle choices have a huge impact on how well our brains function.
Think about it this way. Your brain is like a car. If you put bad fuel in your car, it won't run very well.
The same goes for your brain. If you're not taking care of yourself, your brain won't be able to function at its best.
So let's talk about some of the things you can do to fuel your brain. Let's start with exercise. Exercise is good for your body.
But did you know that it's also incredibly beneficial for your brain?
When you exercise, you increase blood flow to your brain. More blood flow means more oxygen, and nutrients get delivered to your brain cells.
Think of it like giving your brain a fresh supply of energy.
This leads to improved cognitive function, better memory, and even an increased IQ.
Some studies show that just 30 minutes of exercise each day can make a big difference.
And you don't have to run a marathon to get the benefits. A brisk walk, a bike ride, or a swim can do wonders.
Exercise also helps to reduce stress, which is a big brain drain. When we're stressed, our brains go into survival mode.
And that makes it much harder to learn and retain new information. Exercise helps to calm our minds. It creates a more favorable environment for learning.
So if you're feeling stressed, take a break and go for a walk. You'll come back feeling refreshed and ready to learn.
Now let's talk about diet. What you eat has a direct impact on how well your brain functions.
Just like your body needs the right fuel to perform, your brain needs a balanced diet to operate optimally.
Think of whole, unprocessed foods, like fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish as brain food.
They provide the energy and building blocks your brain needs to function at its peak.
On the other hand, processed foods, sugary drinks, and too much caffeine can actually harm your brain.
They might give you a temporary energy boost, but in the long run, they can lead to fatigue, brain fog, and even anxiety.
Now let's talk about the gut-brain connection. This is a new and exciting area of research.
It turns out that the trillions of bacteria living in your gut play a significant role in how your brain works.
These bacteria are called the gut microbiome, and a healthy gut microbiome can support better brain health.
So how do you keep your gut microbiome healthy? By eating a balanced diet rich in fiber-fermented foods and probiotics.
Next, let's move on to sleep. It's amazing how many people underestimate the power of a good night's sleep.
Sleep is absolutely crucial for memory consolidation, waste removal from the brain, and overall cognitive function.
Think of sleep as a time for your brain to recharge and reset.
While you're sleeping, your brain is busy processing the information you took in throughout the day.
It's consolidating memories and strengthening neural connections. It's like your brain is cleaning house, removing toxins that can interfere with its function.
And REM sleep, the stage of sleep where we dream, is particularly important for learning and memory.
Studies show that students who get a good night's sleep, meaning 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep, perform better academically.
So if you're serious about becoming smarter, make sure you're prioritizing sleep.
Create a relaxing bedtime routine. Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool.
And avoid screen time for at least an hour before bed. The blue light emitted from screens can interfere with your sleep.
All right, we've talked about curiosity, active learning, studying exercise, diet, and sleep.
But there's one more key element to becoming smarter I want to mention.
That is brain training. This is where we tap into the incredible power of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and grow throughout our lives.
For a long time, people believed that our brains were fixed after a certain age, but we now know that's not true at all.
Our brains are constantly adapting and rewiring themselves based on our experiences and what we do.
This is where brain training comes in. By engaging in mentally stimulating activities, we can actually strengthen those neural connections and improve our brain power.
Think about puzzles, brain teasers, learning new skills, anything that challenges your brain and forces it to work in new ways.
It's like taking your brain to the gym. The more you work those mental muscles, the stronger they get.
And the best part is that brain training can be fun. There are tons of apps, games, and activities that can help you sharpen your cognitive skills.
But it doesn't have to be high-tech. Even simple things like reading, having stimulating conversations, or learning a new language can do wonders.
The key is to find activities that you enjoy and that challenge you mentally.
Yeah.
The more you incorporate brain training into your daily routine, the more you'll notice the benefits.
You'll find yourself thinking more clearly, remembering things more easily, and feeling more mentally sharp overall.
Here's a fascinating fact. Learning to play a musical instrument can have a surprisingly powerful impact on your brain.
It's not just about musical talent, it's about engaging multiple areas of your brain in a coordinated way.
That's right. Playing music engages areas responsible for visual spatial reasoning focus, working memory, emotional intelligence, and even problem solving.
It's like a full brain workout.
And you don't have to be naturally talented or young to learn an instrument.
Our brains are capable of learning new things throughout our lives. The benefits of learning an instrument go far beyond the music itself.
So if you've always wanted to learn an instrument, go for it. Your brain will thank you.
Along those same lines, embrace new challenges and continuously learn new things.
Stepping outside of your comfort zone and exploring unfamiliar territory can lead to incredible breakthroughs.
Think about reading a book in a genre you've never tried before, or taking a class on a subject you know nothing about.
Those experiences can lead to unexpected insights, spark new passions, and expand your understanding of the world.
And who knows, you might even discover a hidden talent or interest you never knew you had.
It's all about keeping your brain active and engaged.
So what does all of this mean? It means that intelligence is not fixed.
It's a muscle that can be strengthened and developed with the right kind of training, and it's never too late to start.
Whether you're in school, working, or retired, you can take steps to become smarter every day.
The key is dedication and consistency. Just like building physical fitness requires regular exercise, Building mental fitness requires regular mental exercise.
Small changes made consistently over time can lead to significant improvements in your cognitive abilities.
So don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Explore new things, push your boundaries, and never stop learning.
And remember, the most important thing is to enjoy the journey. Learning should be fun, engaging, and rewarding.
It's about embracing the process of becoming a lifelong learner.
And with that in mind, let's move on to the next part of our discussion.
We've been talking about how to train our brains and give them the best possible fuel.
But there's another aspect to becoming smarter that we haven't touched on yet.
It's about thinking critically about the information we're exposed to every day.
Especially in today's world, we're bombarded with information from all directions.
From the news to social media to the countless articles and videos we come across online.
It can be overwhelming to sift through it all and figure out what's true, what's biased, and what's simply someone's opinion.
That's why it's more important than ever to develop our critical thinking skills.
It's not about being cynical or distrusting everything we see and hear.
It's about approaching information with a healthy dose of skepticism and asking ourselves some key questions.
Who is sharing this information? What is their perspective or agenda? What evidence do they have to support their claims?
It's also important to consider the source of the information. Is it a reputable news organization, a scientific journal, or a random blog post?
And remember, even seemingly objective sources can have biases.
That's why it's a good idea to get your information from a variety of sources.
Compare different perspectives and see how they align or differ.
Don't just accept what you read or hear at face value.
Dig deeper, do your own research, and form your own informed opinions.
Critical thinking is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
And it's an essential skill for navigating today's complex world.
So we've talked about the importance of being critical consumers of information.
How do we actually go about learning and expanding our knowledge?
One effective approach is to set SMART goals for ourselves.
Not just vague goals like, I want to learn more, but specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals.
Let's break that down a little.
A specific goal is clearly defined. For example, instead of saying, I want to learn more about science, you could say, I want to learn about the planets in our solar system by the end of the month.
A measurable goal is one you can track, you can see how far you've come and stay motivated.
An achievable goal is realistic and attainable. You don't want to set yourself up for failure by aiming too high too soon.
A relevant goal is something you're genuinely interested and passionate about.
And a time-bound goal has a deadline. This helps you stay focused and prevents procrastination.
By setting SMART goals, you give yourself direction and purpose in your learning journey.
And you're much more likely to achieve the results you desire.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the surprising connection between nature and our cognitive abilities.
You might be thinking, what does spending time outdoors have to do with getting smarter?
Well, it turns out that nature has a profound impact on our brains.
When we're surrounded by nature, our stress levels decrease, our anxiety melts away, and our minds become more focused and alert.
It's like hitting the reset button on our brains.
Nature provides us with rich sensory input that stimulates our minds. The sounds of birds singing, the sight of trees swaying in the breeze, the smell of fresh air, it all contributes to creating a more relaxed and receptive mental state.
And research has shown that spending time in nature can improve memory retention and even creativity.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or stuck, try taking a break and going for a walk in the park or a hike in the woods.
Your brain will thank you.
Now let's explore another ancient practice that has gained significant scientific backing in recent years: meditation.
You might be thinking of meditation as something spiritual or mystical.
But it's actually a very practical technique for training your mind and enhancing your cognitive abilities.
Meditation involves focusing your attention on a single point, such as your breath, a mantra, or an image.
By doing so, you learn to calm your thoughts, quiet the mental chatter, and cultivate a sense of inner peace.
This practice of focusing and stilling the mind has been shown to improve attention span, working memory, emotional regulation, and even self-awareness.
Regular meditation can also reduce stress and anxiety, which, as we know, can have a negative impact on cognitive function.
So if you're looking for a simple yet powerful way to boost your brain power, consider incorporating meditation into your daily routine.
Even just a few minutes a day can make a difference.
We've been talking about ways to challenge our brains and enhance our cognitive abilities.
And one of the most effective ways to do this is through mental exercises.
Just like our bodies need physical exercise to stay strong and healthy, our brains need mental workouts to stay sharp and agile.
Engaging in mentally stimulating activities challenges our brains and helps to strengthen those neural connections.
Think of puzzles.
Yeah.
Brain teasers, logic, games, memory exercises, anything that makes you think critically and use your cognitive skills.
The beauty of mental exercises is that they're widely accessible. You can find books, apps, and websites dedicated to providing brain-boosting challenges.
But you can also find mental exercises in everyday life. Reading a challenging book, having a deep conversation, or learning a new skill can all provide mental stimulation.
All of these activities can help to keep your mind sharp and agile.
And as we age, mental exercises become even more important. They can help to prevent cognitive decline and maintain mental acuity.
So make a commitment to challenge your brain regularly, and you'll be amazed at how your cognitive abilities improve.
Now let's talk about a crucial aspect of intelligence that often gets overlooked. Emotional intelligence, or EQ.
While IQ focuses on logical reasoning and problem-solving abilities, EQ focuses on understanding and managing emotions, both yours and others.
People with high EQ are skilled at recognizing their own emotions, understanding how their emotions affect others, empathizing with others, and building strong relationships.
And while IQ is often seen as a fixed trait, EQ is something that can be developed and improved upon.
There are many strategies for boosting your EQ practice. Active listening. Pay attention to nonverbal cues, develop your empathy skills, and learn to manage your own emotions effectively.
Having a high EQ can be just as important as having a high IQ, especially in areas like leadership, teamwork, communication, and social skills.
So don't neglect this vital aspect of intelligence. Cultivate your EQ and you'll be well on your way to becoming a more well-rounded and successful individual.
Now let's address a common misconception about intelligence, that grades are a true measure of intelligence.
While grades can be an indicator of academic achievement, they don't tell the whole story about a person's intelligence.
There are many different types of intelligence, and some people may excel in areas that aren't measured by traditional tests.
Don't let grades define your intelligence. Focus on developing your strengths and pursuing your passions.
Remember, intelligence is multifaceted, and there are many ways to be smart.
Let's explore another fascinating area that can help you become smarter. Engaging in artistic activities.
Whether it's painting, drawing, sculpting, playing music, or dancing art provides numerous benefits for the brain.
It stimulates creativity, imagination, problem-solving skills, and even emotional expression.
Artistic pursuits can also help to improve focus, concentration, and attention to detail.
And engaging in creative activities has been shown to reduce stress and improve overall well-being.
So don't be afraid to tap into your artistic side. You might be surprised at how it enhances your intelligence and brings joy to your life.
Speaking of enriching experiences, let's talk about the power of conversation.
Engaging in meaningful conversations with others can be a fantastic way to learn and grow.
Conversations expose you to different perspectives, ideas, and experiences.
They challenge your thinking and help you see things from new angles.
Conversations also help to improve your communication skills and develop your ability to articulate your thoughts and ideas clearly.
So make an effort to have regular conversations with people who inspire you, challenge you, and expand your horizons.
You'll be amazed at how much you can learn from simply talking to others and sharing ideas.
As we wrap up this part of our discussion, let's remember that becoming smarter is a journey, not a destination.
It's about embracing a growth mindset and believing that you can always learn and improve.
It's about setting goals, challenging yourself, and never giving up on your pursuit of knowledge.
And the more you learn, the more you realize how much there is still to discover.
So keep that curiosity alive, embrace new experiences, and never stop striving to become the best version of yourself.
We've covered so much ground in our exploration of how to become smarter.
It's been a fascinating journey, filled with insights and practical tips.
And as we wrap up our discussion, I want to emphasize one of the most important takeaways.
Intelligence is not a fixed trait. It's not something you're born with and stuck with for life.
Our brains are incredibly adaptable. They're constantly changing and evolving.
And with the right kind of stimulation and effort, we can actually increase our intelligence.
Think of it like learning a new language or a musical instrument.
The more you practice, the better you become.
And the same is true for intelligence.
The more we challenge ourselves, the more we learn and grow.
The smarter we become.
So don't limit yourself. Don't be afraid to push your boundaries and step outside of your comfort zone.
Remember, every single day is an opportunity to learn something new and become a little bit smarter.
Whether it's reading a book, having a thought-provoking conversation with a friend, or exploring a new subject that piques your interest.
There are countless ways to nourish your brain and expand your knowledge.
So I want to leave you with this question. What will you do today to become smarter?
It's a question worth pondering, and I hope our conversation has sparked some ideas and inspired you to embark on your own journey of lifelong learning.
Remember, becoming smarter is not about reaching a final destination or achieving some arbitrary level of intelligence.
It's about the process of continuous growth and expansion.
It's about cultivating a curious mind, embracing new challenges, and never losing that thirst for knowledge.
So keep your mind open, keep learning, and keep exploring the incredible potential of your brain.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of how to become smarter every day.
We hope you found it valuable, and we look forward to seeing you on our next adventure.
Until then, keep those brains buzzing.